I just called to say I love you. I just called to say how much I care. I just called to say I love you, and I mean it from the bottom of my heart.
Come on, young man. Don't be afraid. My wife and mother-in-law are not there.
Maybe I should come back later, or rather, tomorrow.
On the contrary, I've already heard about you from the two women, so I guess I could be useful to do.
How so?
Supporting his marriage to be realized as soon as possible with Leah, my wife's sister.
We really are not even engaged yet.
What does it matter? We'll make the engagement on the same day as the marriage ends.
Of course you are my great ally.
With enthusiasm, obviously on that condition that I mentioned it to you on the phone when I invited you to come here.
I really didn't understand correctly.
I repeat it to you with a question. Will you have nothing against my mother-in-law, who will also be yours after the wedding, will come to live with her daughter Leah?
I will be glad.
Done deal?
On the other hand, Mrs. Adele, when she comes to visit Leah at the boarding school, has always appeared to me so sweet, so kind, so cordial.
Very well, you understand mother's law, Butterfly. And I assure you that the sweetness, kindness, and the friendliness of Mrs. Adele have brightened up this house since my first wedding day. But I am selfless by nature, and I don't want to keep this joy all to myself.
Yes, we make wonderful plans, but are you sure that Mrs. Adele will grant me Leah's hand?
Certainly no, I'm not. However, I promise you that I'll collaborate with heart and soul to convince her. If I'm not mistaken, you're the only child of the director of the college.
Exact. In a month I will have a degree in literature and philosophy, and my father will entrust me with the deputy director.
In a month?
Heaven willing.
I will pray to it too. So in 5 weeks you will marry Leah.
If all it were true, especially since my parents agreed to see me married soon, you will understand, a deputy director of a girls' boarding school, married and perhaps with children, gives greater trust to the families of the students.
Perfect. You are also lucky because I imagine that you will live in the same building as the college.
Exactly. A 5-room apartment is already ready.
Including one for the mother-in-law, who will immediately expand her sweetness, kindness, and friendliness for the entire college.
It's us!
Ladies!
Stay still.
Good morning, ladies.
Look, Mom, what a nice surprise!
Nice to see you again. Is Leah from there?
Unfortunately not, madam. Your daughter did not want to go out because she has to revise mathematics tomorrow. Professor, my father, will question her.
And did it be terrible? It's true with that, let's call it, that sympathy of his son.
It will be right as usual, judging the preparation of student Leah through the prism of severity, which is synonymous with seriousness.
But as soon as it becomes synonymous with kinship, well, the gentle told me that he would like to talk you face to face, but it doesn't dare.
Why, I've never devoured anyone.
Until today,
The son-in-law of mine will have many defects but an unparalleled quality that of making the spirit out of
my
time.
mother-in-law, on the other hand, has many qualities and only one flaw.
Which one?
That of being the sweetest, friendliest, and the most affectionate mother-in-law in the world. I'm only sorry that among so many misses they don't elect Lady Mother-in-law. If not she alone would be entitled to the title of Lady Mother-in-law Universe. Are you okay? You don't want me to despise the goods I want to sell, or rather liquidate.
Don't worry.
In fact, I'm so happy with these two women that I cannot even listen to the joke of the husband who, after a quarrel, says to his wife, Go to your mother. And his wife, but dear, my mother is dead. And her husband, in fact...
You're welcome, Mr. Gandolfi.
With permission.
you delude yourself into thinking you are dumping your mother-in-law? No, I delude myself into thinking I'm dumping the Viper. Fulvio. A Viper that wouldn't even host a zoo. Otherwise, she would make lions, tigers, and panthers run away.
It's clear that we no longer get along.
Gong.
What?
You have to say we don't get along anymore because of Mom. But what do you want? Everything changes. Government pass, mountains collapse, people disappear, but the mother-in-law remains. Believe me, Rosanna, the two of us will live happily without that kind of earthquake you call Mom.
Well, I declare to you with absolute firmness that Mother, even if my sister buries death or others, will remain with us here until the end of her days.
Which will surpass those of Methuselah. Enough. Let me add that I will be asking for legal separation tomorrow. In this way, if they finally approve the divorce law that provides for the dissolution of marriage after a certain number of years of the judicial separation, we will be the first to divorce in Italy.
I'll think about it.
I'm a free! Free!
Hey, Fulvio. I've thought about it enough.
What did you decide?
I agree. Immediately the legal separation and as soon as possible the divorce.
Thank you, dear.
Oh no, that would be the last straw.
You're right, I go out. Go out?
Go outside. By now you no longer have the duty to give explanations to me or to Mom.
I'd forgotten about it. Bye-bye. Are you sure, Mrs. Patrizia, that...
Very safe. All the boarders went on a trip to the Great Point.
And your father?
Those in the garden. Patrizia, you made me lose my mind. You too, Silvio. I really want to cry.
Ah, I understand. You know that I am married, not for long. Divorce is coming. By the way, will your father have difficulties?
I don't think so. He has been a widower for several years and still young. Married to me, he will feel free to take a wife again.
Divorce and then orange blossoms everywhere. What luck, darling.
No, not here.
Excuse me, but I suffered this new love of mine. I would like to shout it from the rooftops.
There's no wind. Today is a wonderful day.
Dad, do you know the gentleman?
Of course I know him. How's it going, man?
Well,
What are you doing? Stammering?
Mr. Fanti, I have to ask you something.
If it's not money, go ahead.
I don't know where to start.
From the beginning, I will understand better.
You're a man.
But really,
I am too, so we will understand each other perfectly. I ask you for Patricia's hand.
and what do you do with your other wife? An honor killing?
No, Mr. Fanti, a matter of months and then I will be divorced.
Yes. What do you think?
I'm happy about it.
In this case,
Thank you.
but are you certain of obtaining a divorce?
Oh, come and take a walk with us in the garden and I will explain to you. I have a lawyer friend who specializes in divorces and...
And I never thought I'd feel this way. And as far as I'm concerned, I'm
You're right.
I should ever go away. Well, then close your eyes and try to feel the way we do.
The sentence. Thank you. Here is one of the first Italian divorces. Did you see that we are in the newspapers? Yeah, especially magazines. A nice advertisement for you. You'll have a lot of customers. By the way, how much do I owe you?
900,000.
Na, 900,000 lire?
No. Potatoes.
But I read, I don't know what that divorce in Italy would have cost from a minimum of 279,000 to a maximum of 828,000 lire.
It cost you the most.
72,000 more.
Cause additional interviews with your wife's lawyer. You have to know he treated to appeal the sentence first on appeal, then in the Supreme Court.
He's right.
But it would have taken 4 or 5 years longer.
Who threatened it?
The idea was your mother-in-law's.
Ex-mother-in-law. That's why I gladly pay 900,000 lire to get rid of a mother-in-law. It's for nothing.
In all his story, that the young professor who, after your legal separation 5 years ago, married the sister of your ex-wife, was very lucky.
As if he had won the football pools because the mother remained next to her poor daughter, abandoned by her scoundrel husband, and the newlyweds were not forced to take the pestiferous mother-in-law into the house. The college has also gained in tranquility.
Do you think you would have been able to get rid of Mrs. Adele?
Sooner or later, yes, but let's not think about it anymore. It's water in the past. Bye, Martini, and thank you again.
Welcome! Let's wait for them here.
Maybe we arrived too soon.
Far from it, Mom. After all, your family. In 20 minutes, the morning lessons will end. My father and Leah will join us to go to breakfast.
Doesn't Leah commit an imprudence to fatigue again?
This is what I've repeatedly told her. But Leah says that it's fun for her to be a substitute chemistry teacher in the boarding school where she was a student. My mother's cooking.
You were very kind to invite us. Did your parents read in the newspaper?
Of your divorce, they have read.
They were favorably impressed.
Considering that this doesn't concern us.
Good. As you can see that we are in the realm of intelligence and culture.
Oh, Mauro, excuse me. The caretaker, who has known me for years now, didn't tell me you were busy.
You are always welcome. Mr. Diego Fanti, a friend of my father. Mrs. Adele and Rosanna Gore.
No more Adele and Rosanna Lorenzetti.
Respectively mother and sister of my wife.
And congratulations to our Mauro, the next dad. I, on the other hand, have come to talk to you about orange
Are you going
blossoms.
to remarry, Mr. Fanti?
Truly, after 6 years of widowhood, loneliness begins to sadden me. If I found a woman, how to say a real woman, I would not hesitate to take the fatal step again. For now, however, it's my daughter's getting married.
Patrizia, I'm pleased about that.
It doesn't really help the wedding I dreamed up for her, but the important thing is that they love each other.
You're right. My daughter, on the other hand, was unlucky, but we managed to get rid of the delinquent.
Mom!
He was, and it was. My daughter is again a regularly divorced young lady.
Interesting.
Very kind.
Of course, in my Rosanna meet a serious man better if a little mature. I mean mature to say mature, that is mature in feelings, that is without crickets in the head. If she meet a man like that, I said, I would be happy to see her married again. Dear Mauro, the two of us want to meet Leah.
With pleasure, mother. You're welcome.
They left us alone.
Yeah, alone.
I don't know what happened to me, madam. Pardon, miss.
Call me madam.
I understand, but maybe we will get used to it too. For the moment, it makes me feel a certain effect to call a woman a lady whom I know is not a widow and to whom I would like to ask. I would like to ask.
What?
I don't know what happened to me. I repeat, but as soon as I saw you,
You saw me? Continue, I beg you, because I too just saw you. As soon as I saw you...
you continue.
Oh no, first it's your turn.
It's alright, madam. Miss.
Tell.
I feel alone.
Me too.
So, since into you no longer feel alone, and since in order not to be alone you have to be at least two,
What a beautiful speech.
let's go to breakfast together.
Actually, I'm already invited here.
What does it matter? For you, they're relatives. For me, they're friends. I'll mumble some excuses to them and they'll leave us alone. Won't?
Why not?
Right, why not? We are of age.
Maybe.
Therefore... By the way, in the presentation, as usual, nothing is understood. What's your name?
Rosanna. My mother also repeated it.
Now I remember, but I was already enchanted from you. Do you mind, Rosanna?
Mister.
Diego, do you like?
It's noble. Diego. I think I've read something by a famous Don Diego de la Vega. Who was he?
Zorro. Only Zorro. A comic book swordsman. Rosanna instead. It won't understand. The whole world knows the kiss the claim by Cyrannus of Bergerac for Rosanna. But then, what is a kiss? An oath made a little closer, a more precise pact, a confession that one wants to seal, a rosy apostrophe placed between the words I love you, a sacred say on the lips, an instant of infinity that has the rustle of a bee among the plants, a communion that is the taste of flowers, a means of brain able to breathe a little of the heart and savor the soul on the lips.
Wonderful.
I feel reborn. I feel like someone else. Rosanna.
Diego.
Rosanna.
Zorro. Sorry. Diego.
Beautiful, tastefully decorated. But I feel embarrassed.
Why, dear?
I feel like I'm taking advantage of it. To attach the head, as they say.
Come on, Mr. Fanti, have absolutely no unjustified squabbles. Moreover, there are very valid reasons for you, after the wedding, to move here.
Really?
Don't forget, dear, that the department store is just a stone's throw away. And nowadays, with all the traffic on the streets, if we went to live with you or in the suburbs, I would have to go to work by car, or I would be forced to sacrifice an hour of sleep.
You're right, dear. But we could look for accommodation nearby, and
Impossible, that is, I meant unobtainable apart from the skyrocketing rent, and there is a second reason, no less important than the first, me.
I don't understand.
This area is familiar to me. I know the shopkeepers, have many friends around here. I don't have a driver's license and I suffer from claustrophobia on public transport. I would stop staying at home all the time like a recluse.
Why would the lady like with us?
Of course, dear. And since we both work, I assure you that Mom will even be precious for doing the kitchen, supervising the cleaning lady, managing the house. In short, do you understand, dear?
Yes, dear, yes. But who knows how it would be more precious to your sister Leah in the boarding school to supervise the breastfeeding of her nephew. winning
No, dear, there's already one mother-in-law too many, my daughters. However, if I really bother you, I'll go and look myself in a boarding house for single widows, and there I will await death.
Please, madam. Okay, she's going to live with us.
Thank you, dear.
I don't thank you with the same expansion as my daughter, however, I'm grateful to you for understanding me.
Imagine, madam. Now I beg you both to understand me.
With enthusiasm, dear.
I repeat that I look for and find an apartment in this area.
But why do you want to bother us with a move?
Well, here you have lived with the other. Memories will come to the surface, even without looking for them, especially to you, dear. In a new environment, or at least ex-new, I would be more comfortable.
It seems to me that Diego is right.
Yes, he's right.
So off we go, new house, new life.
Pardon. You are truly dear.
That's nothing. You'll see when we live together. In fact, you immediately start calling me mom.
Did the other also call you mom?
Well,
Certainly.
Strange, she called him a delinquent.
Natural.
I don't understand.
it's very simple, dear. Mom considers him a delinquent because he betrayed my trust, and it considered her a mom because she did the impossible with her usual patience, with her exquisite maternal sensitivity to avoid separation. Clear?
Crystal clear.
But why are we talking about that? Well, let's forget about it and think about ourselves.
Yes, mom.
Nice.
Let's take a tour of the apartment to choose the furniture we'll move and those we'll sell. Let's start here.
Sit down. My wife comes right away. In the meantime, if you allow, I would like to show Patricia some letters from her poor mother that popped up during the move.
Go ahead.
They are from here. I would be happy if you keep them.
Good evening.
Good David. You would be the wife of the father of... Oh no! To get rid of you once, especially you, I have already spent 900,000 lira and now you are my mother-in-law again.
Now I understand. You married my son-in-law's daughter. I've always said that you're an idiot.
Yes, I'm an idiot.
And an idiot on top of that. It's not me who married Mr. Ponti.
So, what do you do in this house?
The mother-in-law as usual because your father-in-law married Rosanna.
Rosanna. So my wife became my mother-in-law.
Divorce jokes?
But if my wife has become my mother-in-law, you, who was my mother-in-law before, and that is now my mother-in-law's mother, what are you?
The super mother-in-law.
The super mother-in-law. Oh, poor me.
He fainted. Rosanna! Rosanna!
Hey, are you sleeping?
Help!
Fulvio, what's happening to you?
Go away, mother-in-law.
What do you say, dear?
Do you say dear to me too?
With all my heart, I'm your wife.
And the husband over there, what do you put him?
What husband there?
The one who went there with my wife.
What? Do you have another wife?
Of course I have another wife.
So you are bigamous.
So I'm a fool.
If you have another wife, you're a bigamist and you'll end up in jail.
Why? Did you appeal?
What appeal?
Against the first divorce decree.
Divorce? I feel like I'm going crazy.
Not so much if you have already remarried my father-in-law. So, if you're my mother-in-law, that treasure of your mother has become my super mother-in-law.
Super mother-in-law? I feel faint. Let's calm down, eh? Over there's my mother talking to my sister's fiancé.
Handsome betrothed. He and your sister already have a baby.
No.
I know.
Please, Fulvio, let's reason. If I had, well, at least Mom and I would have noticed.
Okay, you would have already noticed it. Over there is that young man whom I called for. I dreamed. It was a dream.
Beautiful?
Far from it. A nightmare. Fortunately, it's over.
Do you still want to part with me?
If I were crazy.
I thank you and I give you news that will make you very, very happy. Guess where we were today, Mom and me?
I don't know.
To pay the deposit for the room of the luxurious pensioner widows and unmarried, where Mom will move within a week.
Is this also a dream?
No, it's reality. In that boarding house, Mom has a couple of friends. And since he has no intention of joining Leah in the college. Are you happy?
Happy, and above all forever, who will become the mother-in-law most pampered by the sons-in-law.
She's convinced too.
I like the young man.
The lady is too good.
He is of the opposite opinion.
That's not true. She's the sweetest, kindest, and friendliest mother-in-law in the world, and I'm sincerely happy to be able to call her Mom.
Do you feel sick there?
Never been so good.
Jesus had a mustache. Esau had a mustache. Mazzini had a mustache. Gioberti had a mustache. Garibaldi had a mustache. Radazzi had a mustache. Those were men's mustaches. These are fucking mustaches.